In a previous video, we talked about visual warnings. In this video, we'll talk about audible warnings. Right here, we have a visual status word indicating differential GPS. And there are audible warnings associated with the GPS status here. If I were, for example, to have a high HDOP or lose my differential corrections, I'd get an audible warning. Now, the audible warning has programmable values associated with it. Typically, the audible will not come on until about 5 seconds after the visual has appeared, and then it will stay on for 5 seconds. So the amount of time from the visual alarm to the audible alarm is programmable, and also the amount of time or duration of the audible alarm is programmable. You can cancel the audible, and it's programmable on a pre-configured basis by Raven at the request of the pilot group. You can cancel the audible alarm by pressing the space bar. You can also configure audible alarms not to come on at all. Now, there are 3 types of sounds. There's the GPS warnings sounds. There's an RTCM message arrived sound. An RTCM message is a message that comes from the Coast Guard beacon that will typically be something about the health of the beacon. For example, in an outage, it'll tell you how long that the beacon's going to be out. And then the third type of audible is a turn alarm. So let's first do the GPS warning alarm. I'm going to go to Send Client. I'm replaying a raw GPS log file over here. I'm going to stop replaying the log file. And we have no comm. That's a true case right now. There is no communications with the GPS device. Notice that the audible alarm did not happen until 5 seconds after the visual alarm. Now, the visual alarm is going to stay there until it changes, until there's a change in the operational status of the GPS receiver. Now let's listen to what an RTCM message sounds like. I'm going to go to Send Client and replay a log file that has an RTCM message in it. Now that visual alarm is going to stay there until I go to the F3 screen, and I look here. This is the RTCM message right there. Possible system outages from a time to a time on a date due to U.S. Air Force Y2K test. You can see when that was recorded. Okay, now the last type of warning or audible alarm is a turn alarm. And if we press F5, I think whoops, wrong focus, F5. If we enable the turn alarm, let's say, I'm not sure how many minutes away we are there, but we can speed it up. You'll be able to hear the turn alarm here in a minute. I'm going to advance the raw log file here, fast forward, and then I'm going to speed it up a bit, and we should be able to fairly quickly hear the turn alarm. It's going to be the laser sound. When it becomes, there it is. Again, to cancel an audible alarm, you can press the space bar, but most of the time it's by default programmed for 5 seconds duration anyway, so by the time you get to press it, it's quit anyway. So there you go. That's a rundown of audible alarms.